Guys, 90s beat-em-up games were a total vibe, right? You'd slam a coin in, grab the clunkiest joystick ever, and start button mashing like your thumbs were on a timer. Enemies just kept pouring in from every side, and half the fun was trying not to get surrounded while yelling at the screen. The stories were super basic, but nobody cared. You were there to clear the streets and look cool doing it. Big chunky sprites, loud punches, and that hype background music made every level feel like the most important fight of your life. In this video, we are going to discuss about 15 90s beat-em-up games you must play in 2025. Let's move towards our first game. Streets of Rage 2. So guys, Streets of Rage 2 hits really different every time I boot it up. It's like slipping back into that worn-out Mega Drive controller from my teenage years. The streets feel alive with these grimy, twisting levels that aren't just straight lines anymore. You duck into bars, alleys, and beaches, each spot pumping with that killer soundtrack that gets your blood racing. Controls are buttery smooth, one-button specials that drain your health but clear rooms like a boss. Combo attacks from dashing or jumping that make you feel like a street-fighting god. I love grabbing pipes or knives off the ground mid-fight, turning punks into piñatas. Co-op with a buddy is pure magic. Yelling as you tag-team bosses without cheap deaths. Graphics pop with moody 90s vibes, no slowdown, just tight action that rewards practice. Nostalgia aside, it's still a masterclass in beat-em-ups. Play it solo or duo, you'll be hooked for hours.
Hey, Krang! Bring that statue back, you bloated beanbag!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. Do you guys remember piling into the arcade with quarters burning holes in your pocket for Turtles in Time? Honestly, that SNES port captured the magic perfectly, time traveling through pizza-fueled beatdowns from sewers to prehistoric eras. Each turtle shines. Leo's balanced slices, Raph's reckless spins, Donnie's stuff pokes, Mikey's nunchuck whirlwinds. All with dashes, slides, and screen-throwing slams that feel so satisfying. Levels twist with variety, bosses like Bebop or Shredder demanding smart swaps. Power moves eat energy, but flip crowds. And that versus mode? Friendly brawls for bragging rights. Graphics burst with chunky sprites and fluid animations, soundtrack slaps like old cartoons on steroids. It's longer than most 90s brawlers, clocking 1 to 2 hours, but it never drags. Co-op shines brightest, dodging foot soldiers while cracking jokes. In 2025, it's your nostalgia fix. Grab controllers, relive the shell-shocking fun that defined arcade nights. Final Fight. Final Fight always sneaks up on me like those Andoris in the subway. Bam! You're hooked from the first clothesline. Capcom nailed that lane-based brawling where positioning is king. Enemies swarm from sides, forcing grabs, throws and stuns to control space. No retreating with screen walls trapping you, so every punch counts. Jab, poisons, dives early or gets stun-locked. Levels pace like a dream, subway to woods with generous items keeping you alive. Graphics scream early arcade grit. Sounds of thuds hit hard. Bosses like Relento punish slop, but mastering range feels epic. It's proactive chaos, not button mash. Stack small wins to dominate. Played it endlessly times solo, but two-player amps the frenzy. Even in 2025, this blueprint for beat-em-ups demands your respect. Dust off the cab or port, feel the streets own you till you own them back. Alien vs Predator. Playing up Alien vs Predator Arcade feels like stepping into a sci-fi fever dream. Capcom cranked the weapon focus to 11 with overheating plasma casters and shoulder cannons that chunk aliens. Pick Dutch for slams that shake the screen, or Predators for claw frenzy. Combat chains fluidly, frantic waves never overwhelm thanks to smart combos. Levels hit classic tropes like elevators, but own them with gore and personality. No spamming projectiles, melee weighs heavy. Bosses like the Queen gobble credits on default, but dip switch easy mode unlocks joy. No alternate paths, pure high score hunt, yet under an hour flies by. Graphics pop with detailed horrors, sound design roars, co-op adds edge, covering flanks in co-op hell. Why is this 94 gem still buried? 2025's perfect for rediscovery. Grab a stick. Unleash xenomorph beatdowns that rival any modern fighter.
X-Men.
X-Men. So crowding around that massive 6-player cab for X-Men Arcade always feels epic. Widescreen let chaos unfold without cramping, kicking downed sentinels feeling revolutionary back then. 6 mutants, each mutant power popping. Cyclops blasts, Wolverine's berserk, Storm's lightning clears screens. Combos link punches to aerials. Prone stomps seal deals. Levels from city streets to asteroid M. Ramp difficulty smartly. Visuals stun with extra-large sprites. Soundtrack bangs like a rally cry. Audio mixes heroics perfectly. 6 stages demand teamwork. Bosses like Juggernaut test picks. 4 players solid, but 6-player legend status earned. Solo's tough, but mastery clicks. In 2025, emulate or hunt boards. This Marvel Brawlers team frenzy and polish scream. Must play. Relive. Picking Nightcrawler for teleports. Owning foes like true extraordinaries. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Alright, if you never gave Cadillacs and Dinosaurs a shot, you're seriously missing one of the wildest beat-em-ups out there. From the moment you pick your character, Jack, Hannah, Mustafa or Mess, it's clear this isn't your usual punch-kick-fight fest. Each character plays differently, with cool special moves like Hannah's cyclone kick that tears through enemies. The real twist? Dinosaurs everywhere. You'll be clobbering poachers 1 second, then dodging a rampaging T-Rex the next. It's chaotic and a little absurd, but that's what makes it memorable. You can use a crazy variety of weapons too, from pipes to pistols and even rocket launchers, and when your ammo's gone, you just club enemies with the butt of your gun. There's even a stage where you drive a Cadillac, crushing foes like in an old-school demolition derby. The jungle and ruined city stages feel alive, and the music pumps just right. It's fast, fun, and totally unique. Still a blast in 2025. The Simpsons. Guys, popping in the Simpsons arcade game takes me right back to those sticky floored cabinets, quarters flying as we picked our fighters. Homer's wild fists, Marge swinging that vacuum like a boss, Bart shredding on his skateboard, or Lisa whipping her jump rope. It's pure family chaos. Smashing through Springfield goons who look straight out of the show, from purple-haired thugs to random ninjas popping up for no reason. What gets me every time is the tandem attacks when you're co-op close. Bart and Homer team up for a screen-shaking slam that clears the room, yelling, "Eat my shorts!" mid-fight. Levels riff on classic episodes, like nuclear plant runs or dream sequences, with mini-games like rapid tapping balloons for bonuses that had us mashing controllers like maniacs. Graphics nail that cel-shaded vibe, voices from the cast drop quotable lines, and the soundtrack hums with theme song energy. Bosses like Mr. Burns in his robot suit demand strategy, not just spam. Sure, ports suck, but the arcade original is gold for 4-player laughs. In 2025, fire up an emulator with buds. It's couch co-op heaven that still cracks me up. The Punisher. Ever crank up The Punisher and feel like Frank Castle's rage channeling through you? That gritty Capcom engine from Final Fight got a brutal upgrade. Leveled up streets from seedy bars to rainy docks, all dripping comic book grit with exploding barrels and throwable crates hiding shotguns. Switching between Punisher's knee-smashing combos and Nick Fury's agile flips keeps it fresh. Grab a gun for that special move, spraying bullets everywhere, watching goons explode in slow-mo chunks. I geek out over the interactive environments, toss enemies into pits, or spike them on rebar for massive damage, turning levels into playgrounds of pain. Bosses like Kingpin demand pattern reads, dodging grabs while countering with charged shots. Sound design pops with blam onomatopoeia and Frank's gravelly grunts, visuals capturing that 90s Marvel darkness perfectly. Co-op shines when you cover each other's reloads. It's overlooked next to X-Men, but solo runs build that revenge flow state. 2025's your year to rediscover this Skull logo legend. Emulate it. Feel the justice hit harder than ever. Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder. It's like the series went full fantasy berserker. 3 warriors, 2 dudes, 1 Amazon babe, charging through cursed lands on beasts, magic pots raining fire, or heals mid-battle. Those mounts, game changer. Trampling skeletons while you hack away, or grabbing dropped swords for power spikes. Levels twist from icy mountains to pirate ships, enemies like blob monsters and eagle riders, forcing aerial dodges. I lose hours, chaining combos into ground pounds, timing pot pickups for crowd control, magic levels up with use, turning you into a screen-nuking god. Graphics and the Sega arcade flare with detailed sprites. Soundtrack thumps epic orchestral vibes. Bosses scale huge, Death Adder's Dragon Mount epic finale. Co-op's frantic magic trades, but solo mastery feels heroic. Deeper than the original, shorter runtime, perfect for replays. Why hide this gem? 2025 demands you ride those eagles again. Timeless hack and slash that'll hook you deep. Dungeons & Dragons Shadow over Mystara. Diving into Shadow over Mystara feels like Capcom poured a whole D&D campaign into one cab. 6 characters from fighters to elves, each with branching stories based on picks, like turning thief or cleric mid-game. RPG depth hits hard. Level up stats with gold, snag spells, weapons like Vorpal swords that one-shot dragons. Combat's silky, aerial raves and team supers like fighter, cleric, holy smites, obliterating undead hordes. Levels sprawl from taverns to floating cities. Choices spawn events, save NPCs for allies or loot. Graphics stun with Mode 7 style overheads and massive bosses like the Bog Dragon. Soundtrack weaves medieval bangers, voice acting nails, fantasy flair. Up to 4-player co-op weaves party tactics perfectly. It's the pinnacle of beat-em-up evolution, over an hour of replayable paths. Late 90s magic still slays in 2025. Grab friends, roll those dice via joystick, live the adventure. Captain Commando. Captain Commando blasts off with that futuristic squad vibe. Pick a caped hero, ninja babe, baby in mech, or giant robot, each tag-teaming AI pals that follow and attack autonomously. Jet bike sections shred through traffic, then back to foot-pounding streets against robot armies. Controls pop. Flying kicks chain into grabs. Specials like Commando's energy blasts clear waves. Levels globe-trot from Tokyo to future cities. Mini-bosses ramp up tension. Graphics shine with Capcom polish. Huge sprites, no slowdown. Music pulses with synth rock energy. 3-player simultaneous madness. AI buddies clutch saves. Short but dense. High-score chases endless. Underrated before Commando compilations. 2025 revival time. Strap in for heroic frenzy that'll surprise you. Knights of the Round. Suppose you're King Arthur, sword gleaming under torchlight, charging through misty forests toward a besieged castle. Knights of the Round nails that epic quest feel right from the start. Sword swings that grow wider as you level up, turning you from scrappy fighter to hulking legend with bulkier armor. Shield blocks parry fireballs perfectly, adding real skill to the brawling instead of mindless mashing. I get chills riding horseback into knight hordes, trampling them before dismounting for ground pounds. Stages shift from quiet knights to chaotic sieges, bosses demanding precise spacing. Graphics capture medieval grit beautifully, soundtrack blares heroic horns. Co-op lets downed knights revive at full power, syncing your duo's rampage. Sure, controls feel stiff today, but that RPG progression hooks you deep. Fire it up in 2025. It feels like claiming Excalibur all over again. Vendetta, Crime Fighters 2. Quarters slammed. Screen lights up with graffiti-splattered streets. Vendetta's vigilante crew ready to avenge their fallen friend. This one's all gritty urban payback. Chairs hurled like missiles. Knives flashing in subways. Construction sites crumbling under same direction throws that crumple thugs hilariously. You get to pick your own punk, each with chain combos and specials like a motorcycle crash through. Levels ooze 90s city sleaze, from trains to rooftops packed with endless goons. Animations pop with hand-drawn flair. Rock soundtrack fuels the rage. Co-op shines in tag team saves, feeling like a real street gang. Bosses hit personally, humanizing the beatdowns. It's raw, no fantasy fluff, just pure arcade addiction. Drawbacks? Short-length begs replays. Still, in 2025, this cult classic screams for emulator runs with buddies, recapturing that underground brawler rush. The King of Dragons. If you've ever wished for a fantasy party brawler where your wizard's fireballs pierce goblin lines, the King of Dragons delivers. Knight tanks hits, elf snipes arrows, dwarf hammers quake ground, all leveling mid-quest. Dungeons to volcanoes unfold with dragon aerial scraps, massive sprites leaping off vibrant screens. Magic zones crowd masterfully, and three-player co-op turns you into an unstoppable fellowship. Soundtracks choral epics pump the adventure, graphics burst with colour. Grinding foes builds power satisfyingly, and bosses test party synergy. Minor gripe, predictable waves, but variety keeps it fresh. This 1991 gem evolved the genre smartly. Dive in 2025. Smash trolls like a true hero squad. Warriors of Fate. Mount up as Liu Bei in Warriors of Fate and charge into Three Kingdoms chaos, spears thrusting through soldier hordes on horseback, steamrolling screens with mounted specials that dismount after 2 hits. Three-player co-op feels like leading legions, grabbing axes or bows for boss-melting power, tapping minigames for food heals mid-battle. 9 short stages pack dense waves on CPS-1, handling 10 to 12 enemies flawlessly from burning villages to misty cliffs and fortresses. Colourful sprites burst with detailed armies, fiery backgrounds pop, orchestral drums hype the war, though tunes repeat. Bosses telegraph grabs and slams fairly, but chunk health, demanding air throws and formation breaks. No safety nets, 2 lives, rare pickups force grit. Unique horse mechanics and character specials like charge moves elevate Capcom's solid flow. Minor irk. Localization tweaks names. Pure 90s brawler scale. Ideal 2025 co-op revival. Conquer with buds. So these top 15 90s beat-em-up games are timeless brawling classics that still pack a punch in 2025. Whether you want co-op chaos with friends or solo mastery through pixelated streets and dungeons, these games bring unmatched nostalgia and addictive gameplay. Their varied styles, from gritty urban fights to fantasy quests and comic book showdowns, offer hours of fun and challenge. Revisiting these gems lets you experience the raw, satisfying combat and unforgettable soundtracks that defined an era. So grab a controller, fire up these legends, and get ready to punch, kick, and combo your way through some of the best brawlers ever made. I hope you guys liked the video. Stay tuned for more gaming gems like these and keep those combos coming.